knee's bent. Okay, so if you've got your towel or your cushion and you wanted to get that and put it underneath your head, that's absolutely fine. You can obviously go ahead and pop that there. I'm going to move mine just out of the way for this first set of exercises. Okay, so lying down for me, letting your head release down towards the floor. You're going to let your shoulders just release. We're going to begin with just a little bit of mobility work here. So release your arms just by your side. Your feet are flat, your knees are bent. And I want you to pull your belly button in towards your spine. And by aiming here just to get into neutral spine position, so just a quick rule of thumb, you should be able just to pop your hand just between your lower back and the floor there to get yourself in neutral spine so you're not all the way lifted. Okay, release the shoulders down away from your ears. Breathe in through your nose and breathe nice and wide into your rib cage. And then just very slowly, you're going to pull your bottom away from the floor and we're going to very slowly begin to wheel the spine. I'm going to move my arm so that you can see me more. We're going to wheel the spine just away from the floor. So we're coming up one vertebrae at a time, and then you're going to slowly just wheel everything back down. Good. Let's try that again. So shoulders away from your ears, and just begin by pressing strongly through your feet into the floor. Wheel yourself up. So you've still got your shoulder blades on the floor, and then you're going to very slowly wheel back down again. Perfect. Now as you're pushing yourself off the floor here, I want you to make sure that you've still got those knees in alignment. So your knees are in line with your hips. That's it. Release, and then very slowly just begin to wheel yourself back down towards the floor. Perfect. How are we doing? You're going to do a couple more there for me. So as you're wheeling up, I want you to think of what your spine is doing and imagine each one of your vertebrae rolling off the floor, and then as you roll back down, think of your spine slowly releasing back down towards the floor as well. Good. Well done. Let's do it again. So we're rolling, squeeze in the bottom, pull yourself up. Amazing. Okay, let's make this a little bit more challenging, shall we? So we're going to stay in a lifted position here. So you've got your hips level with each other. I'm going to try and make my top a little bit tighter so that you can see that I'm lifted away from the floor strongly and my hips are level with each other. Okay, we're going to let the shoulders stay nice and relaxed away from the ears, and you're going to lift one leg so it's bent at 90 degrees. So I've got my knee over my hip. And then slowly you're going to extend that leg out and pull the leg back in. Good, do that twice. Push out, pull back in, and then release that leg down towards the floor. We'll do the same on the other leg. So we're going to do 2 little knee pulls here, pushing away so the knees come level, and then you draw the knee in line with the hip. That's it. Push away nice and strongly. Bring the leg back, bring the feet back down, and then very slowly wheel yourself back down towards the floor. Good. Let's try that again. So remember, you're pushing strongly through your feet into the floor, shoulders away from ears. Roll yourself up, tummy is in, hips stay nice and level. One leg lifts. Push out, pull in. Good. Push away, pull that leg back in, slowly float the leg back down. Remember, you're keeping lifted off the floor. Get those knees level. Good. Well done. And then release that leg. And we're going to very slowly wheel our spine back down towards the floor. Perfect. Can you do that again for me? So inhale, squeeze up, relax everything. Let the hips be nice and level. Exhale. Inhale, float the leg. Push away. Now try this time as you push away through your heel and then draw your leg in. Yes, so you're pushing strongly. That's it. Release that leg, let it just float back down towards the floor. Lift the other leg away for me. Press strongly. Good. How are we doing, guys? You still okay? Good work. Release it and then very slowly wheel the spine back down towards the floor. You're going to do 2 more of those for me. So wheel yourself off the floor. Remember, as you're wheeling up, you're keeping everything in the top of your body really nice and relaxed. The shoulders are away from the ears. The head is just resting down on the floor. Good. Well done. Changing legs for me. Perfect. Let's do one more here. And we're going to make a little change on this movement pattern. If it feels a little bit too much for you, lifting and extending the legs, of course you can just stay with the mobility just rolling up and rolling down here. So please do adjust these if it doesn't feel good for you. Just always stay with the base move and then we'll join you back in, okay? Bring the other leg in, keep nice and lifted. Push strongly out, pull in for me, push strongly out, pull in, let the leg float, and then wheel the spine back down towards the floor. Perfect. We're going to stay in this position if you're ready to. This time you're going to wheel off the floor for me. And again, you're staying lifted. So we're really not only mobilizing our back here, we're also doing some really strong work for our glutes and obviously for our core as well. Now this time you're going to walk your feet out. We're going to walk out, so they just frame the mat, back in so they come under your hips, in, and then we're going to wheel back down towards the floor. Try that again with me. So inhale, pull up for me, squeezing the bottom, walk out, then walk back in. Good. And then you're going to slowly wheel back down towards the floor. Perfect. Roll again for me, lift all the way up. If you want a little bit more here, lift the arms as well. Still the same feet. Walk out, then walk back in. That's it. Nice job. Slowly wheel back down and just let the arms float back down. So if you're adding on that little arm lift as well, you're going to keep going for me. If you're adding on that arm reach, it does make it more challenging. So if it doesn't feel good for you, or if it feels a little bit too much for you this morning, you can leave the arms down. And also, if you're still finding that you're not happy walking those feet out, you can just simply just lift up onto your toes as well. And I'll give you that option in just a second. Good. How are we doing? Good? Perfect. Roll it down for me. Nice work. Relax everything down. Now, this time, as you lift up, we're going to lift the arms overhead if you can. That's it. Well done. And now, as you release back down, I want you to really think about drawing everything in for me. Just slowly release back down. Let the arms come overhead this time. Good. Inhale, lift all the way up. Arms are reaching. Good. And then slowly release back down. Now this time we're going to stay lifted. So lift and lengthen, squeezing your fingertips up towards the ceiling, and you're going to give yourself a hug. Wrap the arms around the body, open the arms nice and wide, hug crossing the opposite arm over, release, and then release back down towards the floor. Good. Should we try that again? So inhale, lift the arms, lift off the floor for me super strongly. You're bracing everything. Give yourself a hug. Cross the right arm over. Open up. Now cross the left arm over. That's it. Stay lifted. Open up. And slowly, slowly wheel back down towards the floor. Perfect. Let's go again. Roll up for me, please. Nice big squeeze. Give yourself a hug. Open all the way out to the side. Change the arms. Good job. Open out. And then very slowly wheel back down towards the floor. Can you do me one more here? That's it. So you're wheeling back up. Good. Give yourself a nice big hug. I think we all need a hug at the moment, don't we? And because we can't hug anyone else, give yourself a hug. Knock yourself out. Good. Let's go again. Well done. Changing arms. Open all the way out and release back down. Perfect. Take a little break there. If you want to grab a drink, do so. We're going to stay lying on our backs. Okay, so for this next exercise, we're going to be working with the soles of the feet together and the knees open. So rolling down for me still, you're still staying down on the floor. And again, I want you to think here about pushing and squeezing your belly button in towards your spine. Let's rest the arms just by the side. Inhale for me, and you're going to slowly peel off the floor with your heels together. Yeah, hello, inner thighs. Release, and slowly let everything come back down. Good, well done. How did that feel? Feel okay? Good. Let the shoulders go. Inhale, peel off the floor. So you feel a little bit like Charlie Chaplin with your heels together, and then very slowly release down towards the floor for me. That's it. Let's rise again. So peel off the floor slowly. You're squeezing the bottom away from the floor and then releasing it back down. We've got a couple more here. Good job, well done. And we're going to change position after this next one. Well done, release it back down. Here's your last one. Leave those heels together and slowly wheel that spine off the floor. Good job. Well done. Release everything back down. Just bring your knees in towards your chest and just give yourself a hug. Wrap the arms softly around the legs. Excuse me, sneezing. Okay, let's roll over, shall we? We're going to come into a... Excuse me, bless me. We're going to come onto all fours here. So you've got your shoulders directly over your wrists. I'm going to show you from the front here. You've got your knees underneath your hips. So your knees are not together. And if you feel that you need to, use your towel or your cushion to pop it underneath your knees. So this next little sequence, I hope you enjoy. We're going to again really work on our core, but we're also going to work on our glutes as well here. So just begin by pushing away from the floor, making sure that your knees are apart. Your toenails are down on the floor for me. And hopefully you are just getting yourself in alignment so that you've got your hip directly over your knee and your legs shooting out at a right angle. And your hands are resting on the floor with your shoulder directly over your wrist. Now, whilst we're working, I'm going to ask you to be looking forwards and slightly down along your mat, okay? So we're going to do everything on one side and then we'll change and do everything on the other side, okay? So pushing strongly off the floor for me. You're going to begin just by taking right arm, left leg, and extend it away from you. Now you're going to reach the arm away, and as you can see, I've got my toe tapping down towards the floor. But if you want to, you can begin even with having that leg lifted if that feels okay. And then release back down. So you're going to inhale and lengthen. Now I want you to imagine that I'm in your living room and I'm pulling on your fingers and my evil twin is pulling on your toes. Now what I want you to think about here as well is making sure that your hips are not twisting. So your hips are pushing downwards towards the floor. Imagine you've got headlights on your hips and they're beaming the lights down towards the floor here. Let's stay here. Good, we're lengthening and reaching away. So you're really extending, nice. Release and pull it back in. Let's do a couple more here. So we're going to have done a total of 8 on this side, doing this. If this feels too much for you, just trace that foot down towards the floor rather than lifting it off. Okay, now leave the legs exactly as they are for me. This time, I want you to think about, again, pushing away from the floor, but you're going to lift and bend that leg. So I'm going to flex my foot, and I'm pushing the sole of my foot up towards the ceiling. At the same time, I'm going to extend the other arm, and then I'm going to slowly release back down. So I'm lengthening, pressing the sole of my foot to the ceiling, really reaching through my fingers and bringing the leg back down. Now nothing else is moving. I'm not twisting my hips. I'm just pressing up. Good. So you're going to really begin to engage your glutes here. So you're imagining, I'll put paint on the sole of your foot and you're getting your footprint continuously on your ceiling, making a nice big splodgy footprint. Good. We're going to do a total of 8 on this side for me, and so far we've done about 5. So let's keep extending and pressing here. Nice. Release and bring that back in. Good. Are you managing to keep your eye gaze in that lovely centered forward position? And can you start to feel your bottom, your glutes, starting to do some work? Yes, well done. Here's your last one. Really lengthen and pull it in. Good job. Okay, now have just a little bit of a breather if you need to. Come out of your wrists for a moment because we haven't finished here yet. So let's stay here. We're still going to be working with that same leg extending away from you. So we're going to lengthen and push the leg still with it bent. This time you're going to bring your elbow in towards that knee and we'll press up towards the ceiling again. Oops, I haven't flexed my foot then. And then pull it back in. So you're going to do 2 on this side, releasing and lengthening, and then release back down. So it's 2 little knee pulls, and then we'll reset. Sound like a plan? Good. Let's do it together. So get yourself set up. Inhale, lengthen, press away strongly. Now bend, bring the elbow in towards the knee, and then press the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. That's it. Do it again for me. Release. Press that sole of the foot up. Release back down. Good. Can you do me one more on this side? How are we doing? Okay? Good job. Well done, guys. Keep pressing up. I know this is challenging. If you need to take a breather, do so. Come out of your wrists. Have a little sit down. Grab a drink of your coffee if you've got one. No, not that, obviously. Release. Good. Okay. Have a little release. Come on down. Release out of your wrists. We're staying on that side, I'm afraid. Sorry. This time we're going to work with the leg extended, and we're going to do just a little bit of circle work. So we've wiped the paint off our foot, okay? We've now got a great big marker pen, and we put it between our big toe and our second toe. So with this move, staying nice and centered, you're going to extend that leg away from you, and you can add the arm as well here if you want to, but you're going to take a little circle. 2 in one direction, and then you're going to change direction. So what you're going to find here, release it down, what you're going to find here is that your core is really beginning to engage here to make sure that it's keeping you balanced and stopping you from falling over. Good. So really lengthen, little circles, just baby circles, then change direction. Nice work. Keep reaching right through your fingers. Now, first things first, if that feels too much for you, bring the hand down towards the floor and just work with the leg circles. If it still feels a little bit too much for you, just work with extending the leg away, and then you can build up to adding on those circles if you want to. Good. Well done. Let's keep going. I'm going to do another couple here, and then we're going to do everything on the other side. Yippee! How are we doing? Good? Good, good, good. Let's keep lengthening here. People reach away nice and long. Take a little circle. Good work, team. Change direction. And release back down. Nice work. Here's your very, very last one on this side for me. So reach super long. Decide whether you're adding that arm. Take a little circle. Now, how is your circle drawing going? Is it good? Release back down. Good. Just come out of your wrists. Take a breather just for a moment. Release everything. Come out of your wrists. Good job. How are we going? Okay? Good. Okay, let's come back into that position. And the great news is we're doing it all on the other side. Yay! I can hear you through the screen. I know, you're welcome. Press off the floor for me. Are we good? Perfect. So let's begin with that base move. And remember, you can come back to this base move at any time at all. Make sure the shoulders are over the wrists. Good. Let's really lengthen here. So reach. Opposite arm and leg. Slide along the floor. Bring everything back in. And again, even when we're here, I should be able to have a spirit level on your back, on your lower back there, and that little bubble should stay in the center of my spirit level. Now, if you feel you're ready to, go ahead and lift that leg. Go on, spoil yourself. Lift and lengthen. You're really reaching super long. Good work. Well done. Keep pushing strongly off the floor for me. Good. Release and pull everything back in. How are we doing? Okay? Good. Release and really lengthen for me. Nice. Pull it back in. Good. So again, there's nothing else moving here. All we're doing is lengthening the arm and the leg. That's it. Keep going. Squeeze strongly forwards. Pull it back in. Next one's going to be your last one. Reach and lengthen. Good. Reset. Come out of your wrist if you need to. Let me quickly preview that second move for you. So this time we're bending the leg. You're going to reach and press all the way forwards and then bring that leg back down. So I'm pressing the sole of my foot up towards the ceiling. That's it. And then pulling it back in. So this is the one where I was saying about having pain on the sole of your foot. That's it. So you're squeezing your footprint onto the ceiling and pulling back down. Try extending that arm as well. See how you get on with it. If you feel that you're falling over, Bring the hand back down and just work with the leg. And you can always build up to adding those arm extensions on. It does make it more challenging. Good. So we're really challenging our entire core here. And don't forget, your core runs all the way around you. It's not just your abdominals, it runs all the way around you. And you're also squeezing and working your glutes as well here. Good job, well done. Do me a couple more. How are we doing? All good? Perfect. And now we're gonna add on that little crunch. Do you remember that we did before? So we're gonna pull in, press up for 2 little counts, and then pull everything in. So pressing the soles of the feet away from you up towards the floor. Lift up. Pull the elbow in towards the knee. Flex the foot, push up again. Pull in. Release, and then just bring everything back down. Did you make that? Good. So hopefully you remember this from the other side. Reach away and pull the elbow into the knee. Reach away again and reset. Good. So every time we start and finish, we're starting in that base position with the knees down so that you've really got the ability to push away from the floor, putting everything in strongly. Good job, guys. Well done. Nice. Let's keep going here. You've got another few to go before we come to those little circles with that leg. So keep going for me. And remember, if I lose you, I will rejoin on my laptop in just a moment, just in case you weren't here at the beginning and you didn't hear me say that. Reaching, lengthening away, and then draw everything in for me. How long can you make your fingertips away from your body? Bring it all the way in, reset. Good. Do me just one more, would you? Nice work. Good. Now, next one's your last one, remember? Take a little breather, come out of your wrists. We're going to stay in this position. I know, I'm sorry. Last set, and we're going to do those little leg circles. Press away from the floor. So, inhale, release, and let the shoulders release away from you. Remember, you're still breathing really nice and wide in your ribs here. Let's lengthen, opposite arm and leg away. Remember, you've changed legs. 2 little circles in one direction, and then change direction. Super important here, team, that we're not rolling through the hips. So you're keeping everything pressing down towards the floor, hips wise. Yeah, you're keeping those nice and squared down towards the floor. Good. Well done. Keep going for me. How are we doing? Good. Nice work. Well done. You're nearly there. You've got a few more here. Good job. Well done. Little circles. Perfect. Can you do me just one more set on this side? I know you're doing well. I know you can feel it. Make sure those circles are really controlled so you can really feel those core muscles engaging. Here's your last one. Good work. Well done. Release everything back down. Just take a breather. Come over for me. Good. Okay, let's roll onto our backs, shall we? How are we doing? Still with me? All okay? Good. Okay. So we're going to be resting on our elbows here. So if you want to put your towel or your cushion underneath your elbows, feel free to do so if you're on a bit of a bobbly mat and if you feel that you're not pushing away from the floor. So let's get set up. Feet are flat, knees are bent, and you're resting on your elbows. That's it. Now you've got your shoulder directly over your elbow, and I want you to let your chest be nice and open here. Your feet are flat, your knees are bent, and I want you to lift away from the floor. So your chest is really nice and relaxed. Good work. Okay, now from here, all I want you to do is simply make sure that you've got everything stacked. So you've got your knee lining up with that second toe for me, your heel lining up with your sit bones, and your hips are nice and level. So if you feel that your hips aren't quite level here, you can even pop your towel or your cushion underneath your bottom. We're going to begin just by floating one leg away from the floor and then releasing that leg back down. Good. Lift the other leg off the floor. So remember, we're breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, and breathing really wide. So inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, tap the leg back down. Good work, well done. Now, I'm going to build on this move and make it slightly more challenging. However, if you feel that this feels at a good level for you, then please just continue to stay with these single leg lifts, okay? And we will come back and join you. Good. Let's stay lifting. Now, if you feel ready to, try this. Float both legs off the floor. Now, if you've got both legs lifted, make sure that the legs are at 90 degrees, they're pushing away from you, knees are over your hips, and you're still pushing away from the floor. So what tends to happen here is when we get tired, is that we start to roll the shoulders forward. So I want you to really open the chest and push down strongly into the floor. Okay, let's do that same little tap right here. So you're just gonna take one leg down, tap the floor, release and bring that leg back up. Nice, inhale, tap the other foot down. Good, making sure that the legs are starting and finishing at that 90-degree position. Nice work. This is really nice hip mobility work as well for you. Good work, release, bring it back up. Now you can stay here. If you'd like to make this a little bit more challenging, try this. Tap both toes down and then bring the legs back up. So again, we're pushing off the floor. We're tapping both toes down. Now, as you tap down, tummy is in, chest is lifted. Good. Tap again for me. Now, as you're tapping both toes down, can you also feel, in particular, those lower abdominals beginning to come into play? Yes. Well done. Tap out for me. Good job. Well done. Keep going here. And again, if this feels too much for you, you can go back to single ones. So you don't have to add the doubles. Nice work. Good. Do me two more, would you? And I'm going to give you an option to make this a little bit more challenging. Well done. Let the chest be open. Tap on down for me. Good. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, here's what we do. You're going to bring your big toes together. We're going to shoot the legs out. I'm going to show you this from the front. So you're going to shoot the legs out so they make a nice wide diamond. And then as you pull the legs back in, we reset them. Okay, so you're going to shoot the legs out, pushing strongly, making like a little, almost like a diamond shape, and then draw the legs back in towards you. Good, well done. Now again, if this doesn't feel good for you, please stay with the single toe taps or the double toe taps. Because this is kind of an online class, I'll give you options that you can then decide whether you want to add those on or not. So if it doesn't feel good for you, you don't have to add those options on. Good work, well done guys. You're doing really well today. Push out strongly for me and then squeeze everything back in. Good job. Inhale, press away strongly. Exhale, draw everything back in. Good. Inhale, push away strongly. Are you making that lovely diamond shape with your legs? Good. Push strong. There's my doorbell. I think that's Amazon. Push away strongly and draw back in. So we're going to make sure everything is really braced. Your chest is nice and open. Good work. Well done. Can you start to feel that working, especially in those lower abdominals? I hope you can. Good. Can you do me two more here? And we're going to change position very slightly. Good. Here's your last one. Shoot those legs away for me and then pull them back in. Just take a moment, have a little breather. Now, this time we're going to also bring into work the obliques. So the obliques run up the side of your main abdominal cavity, and we're going to stay resting on our elbows to really work this. So leaving those legs lifted for me. Can you now glue your legs together? I know we've had lots of things there. We've painted our feet, we've had pens in our toes. Now we've got rope or tape wrapping around our legs. Stay right there for me, and you're going to again keep pressing away from the floor. Now very slowly drop your knees across towards me. That's it, so over to one side, and then you're going to come back up to centre. Amazing, go the other way. Let the legs drop. Now, you're not lifting the legs so much that you're lifting your sit bones off the floor here. Your bottom is staying down towards the floor. Good, inhale, squeeze across one way. Exhale, pull the legs back up. So it's almost like your legs are like little windscreen wipers, which on a day like today when it is pouring with rain here in Surrey, where I am, we need windscreen wipers on. Good. Dropping across towards one direction. Nice. Good job. Do me one more on each side. I'm going to give you a little combination. So we're going to work with pushing the legs out in that diamond shape, pulling them back in, windscreen wiper one way, and then we'll go the other way. Okay? So let's come together and do that move. So push away from the floor for me. Squeeze big toes together. Shoot the legs out. and then draw them back in. Nice job. Then drop the knees across towards one direction, keeping those sit bones. Exhale, bring them back up to center. Inhale, drop the other way. Nice. Release, come back up to center and shoot the legs away. Push out strongly. Good work. Glue the legs. Squeeze across towards one side. Amazing. Are you managing to keep that chest nice and open as you're working? Good. Release and go the other way. Back to center. Shoot those legs out strongly, making that lovely big diamond shape with your legs, and then pull back in. And then drop the legs to one side. Release, come back up, and we'll go the other side. Good work, well done. One more set, and we're going to change position, I promise. Good job. Guys, you're working really hard today, so well done you. Push away strongly. Pull it all in. Well done. Drop across towards one side. Perfect. Come all the way through center. Back to the other side. And release. Good work. Just bring the feet down for me with the feet flat, knees bent. Let's just release those shoulders. So lift up for me right the way through your spine and just begin to forward fold. Let your head release down. Feel that lovely release right across the top of your back and your shoulders. Eye gaze is looking forwards and down towards the floor. Stay there for me. Just breathe. Hold it. Push the soles of the feet into the floor. Nice work. Release. Let's release and roll ourselves up. Okay, we're going to lie on our backs for the next set, and these next moves are called dead bug, and we're going to do some variations on them. So if you wanted to have your towel or your cushion under your head, feel free to grab that now, and let's get to work. Well done, guys, you're doing so well today. So get yourself set up here for me, and again we're going to let the shoulders release down away from the ears. I say it every single class to you, but remember, your ears and your shoulders are not friends with each other, so keep them as far apart as you can so that they don't argue. Now, your hips are level. You're going to float one leg in, followed by the other leg. So your legs are at 90 degrees. Let's inhale and lengthen the arms overhead. So I've got my arms lining up with my shoulders there. So you're going to take opposite arm and leg away from each other. So I'm going to tap down my front leg and take my back arm all the way overhead. And then I'm going to change and come the other way. Good. So I'm dropping and lengthening that arm. Nice. Inhale. Tap away strongly. Good. Exhale. Bring everything back in. Good. So again, the move is very, very controlled. And we're bringing everything back up through that centered position. Nice work, guys. Do you feel like you're a dead insect? Yeah, good. Not that we want to kill insects, obviously. Release and come back up. Good job. So you're just simply tapping away and then lifting back up. Good work. Keep going for me. And again, I want you here to extend over. Now, if you can't get the arm all the way overhead, that is absolutely fine. No problem at all. Good. Well done. Do me 4 more here. Good job. Keep going for me. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. Let's lengthen, release. Push the arm overhead. Release back down. Good. Amazing. Okay, everybody take a little release there. Draw the knees back in. Just roll yourself round in one direction. And then you're going to slowly just change direction. Perfect. Okay, bring your knees in for me. And let's roll ourselves up and over so that we're coming back onto all fours. So let's do a little bit of release work here, just some mobility work for you. Your shoulders are over your wrists. You can face any direction at all you want to here, by the way. Your toenails are down towards the floor. And again, making sure that you're in that nice neutral spine position. So you're not arching the back and you're not dropping the hips towards the floor. Shoulders directly over your wrists. We're going to take a really big cat stretch here. So if I can ask you to bring your chin towards your chest and arch your back. So you're going to pull nice and high all the way up through the shoulder blades. And then exhale and slowly push the hips away from you. And we're lifting the head so we're looking forwards. Good. Let's roll through again. So inhale, pull up to the chin, finds the chest, coming into that lovely big cat stretch. Exhale, press on through for me. So you're pushing your hips forwards and down. Good. So you should just feel this really nice mobilization going on in your lower back. Good, well done. Release. Press strongly away from the floor. Good job, guys. Let's do it again. Release and roll through. Amazing. And press on down. Good. Okay, so we've had a little release. Let's do our last sequence of exercises, shall we? So from here, we're going to come down onto our elbows. So you're going to have your shoulders directly over your elbows, and we're going to push back into a strong plank position. So your tummy is in, you've got a nice long line. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can try having your knees down towards the floor here. So please, again, choose the position that works best for you. Now I want you to pretend, just take your knees down a second, I want you to pretend that you are a rolling pin. So we're going to roll ourselves forwards, and then we're going to roll ourselves backwards. Okay, we're going to stay resting on our elbows. Let me move that towel out of the way so you can see me a little bit better. So I'm coming into my nice strong plank. I'm going to keep my bottom down, so I'm not lifting my bottom, but I'm going to just shift my weight forward so I come right onto my toes, and I'm going to slowly press myself back right through the heels. So I'm going to slide forward. So do you see what I mean about feeling like a rolling pin here? If this feels too intense for you, bring your knees down, and that option, just in case you wanted to see it, looks just very similar. You're just pushing yourself forwards and backwards, resting on your knees, okay? Good. But if you're in that full plank position, imagine that you're rolling pastry out. I do get you thinking of weird things, I am sorry. You're going to roll forwards and then slowly roll back. So as you roll back, you're pushing through your heels. Good. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Good work, guys. This is really strong core work to finish us off today. Push forwards, release and press back. Nice. Squeeze everything forwards, and then push all the way back through your heels. Good. Do me two more. Press on back. Now your last one, make it your best one yet. Roll all the way forwards. Lovely work, well done, release. Good. Just release down on the floor. I can hear you saying, oh. Okay, lie right there for me, and if you're ready to, can I ask you to just roll over onto your back? Just flip yourself over. Take the arms overhead, legs are lengthening away from you. Just release your head. Let everything release down towards the floor. And then once you're ready, let your knees come in and just give yourself a gentle hug. So wrap the arms softly around the legs, and you can gently rock from side to side. That's it, well done. Nice work. Okay, let's leave the knees stacked, and you're going to drop both knees across towards one direction, and you're going to open your arms so that they're lengthening away from your shoulders, and then turn your head to look away from your legs. Just hold it right there. Should feel a really nice release there in your lower back, right across the shoulders, letting the chest open as well. And then slowly, slowly bring the head to center, float the legs all the way back to center, leaving them glued, drop them the opposite way this time, leaving the shoulder blades draped onto the floor, and again you're going to look away from your legs here. So just reach your fingertips out strongly. Perfect, stay right there for me. Good work. Release, float the legs back in. Nice work, and then roll yourself back up. So use your legs to roll yourself up. Awesome. Sit facing front for me. Good. So you can sit with legs crossed or whatever works for you here. We're going to release your lower back. Bring your left arm over your right thigh, right hand under your shoulder, pushing away from the floor, lifting up and over there. Just let everything release and dissolve. Good work. Keep lifting up all the way through your spine. Come all the way through center. Let's change sides. Don't forget, guys, you can get over 2,500 more workouts by popping onto our Everyone Active On Demand app. You can get it via the Everyone Active app. There's loads of different workouts on there. There is a special offer going on throughout November, so please do check that out. Make sure you get involved. There's all sorts of things on there. Release and come back to center. Bring your arms down just onto your legs. Release your chin down to your chest. And just breathe deeply in through your nose. Breathe nice and wide. Release your shoulders down away from your ears. Well done. Take your legs in front of you. Just flex your feet. Let your legs just hang away from you. Inhale, you're going to lift up all the way through your spine. Push your sit bones down into the floor and softly, keeping a nice long back, just lengthen down towards your legs. So take your shoulders away from your ears. Just feel that lovely release right down the back of your legs and right across the lower part of your back there as well. Right down there. If that feels a bit too much, just bend your knees a little bit, but you're staying, pressing against that imaginary pane of glass that's away from you. Well done, release, and roll yourself back up. Release your shoulders. Amazing. Bring your legs 90-90 for me, would you? So bring one foot in and your legs are bent at 90 degrees. Hands are going to frame that front knee. Very softly, just release down, letting the elbows press towards the floor. Release your shoulders, stay right there. Nice work. Let's roll and rise. Come all the way up through center and just drop the legs the other way. So again, hips are pressed evenly. We're going to frame the leg with the hands and softly just press down towards the floor. Good work. Slowly release. Just sit comfortably. Listen, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the session. I'll try and come back to all your comments. I can see them whizzing up on the screen, but it's frankly too far away from me for me to be able to see, so I'll answer your comments in just a moment. Well done, and don't forget we're back here on Tuesday morning for Stretch and Flow, and also on Wednesday lunchtime for our 12:30 half an hour session, which is going to release your shoulders and release your hips. It's a much more of sort of a flexibility type Pilates class, so I hope to see you then. If not, stay safe and I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks guys, bye.